Alright, well, I don't know if you're on, but you can kind of see what I've been doing. I'll walk through it and show you all the little black lines. I think I showed you some of them. It was all dented through here. I filed and removed all the dents. I've hammered and dollied and filed and moved all the dents through here. I still have a few. All the little black circles are more continuous dents. You'll see that I've removed them. There's many different spots that I had to do dent removal all through it. It's coming out real nice. It's a little awkward that it's a long, thin piece, but it's came out real nice. So that's all. Just show you as I do, and then I'll show you when I go down inside. Quarter molding on the 37, and worked out a lot of the dents, but getting the wave out of the metal without crushing the line on the top. I mean, I can put a different wheel on the bottom, but that should have done it. Just needs a little bit of pressure and getting this so it doesn't have a knot to it. It's getting that crease line and the bow out of it. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if the light's giving you enough, but it has a little bit of a line right to it here. How it sits on the car. I'm just trying to get this little last bit out gradual. I've worked out a lot of the dents. I'm in the filing stages and smoothing stuff out, and then we're gonna send her down and get polishing. But let me wheel it a little more. We'll show it to you again. I've gotten a lot of it out though. It's looking really nice. So all the major dents, major out of this whole bottom end, and all through the middle is done. We just we got a couple little waves in it on the workout. Change a couple wheels and work on it. Yeah, it's definitely still got a pretty good spot right here. So, sit down it right there. It's supposed to be just a little more gradual. I'll put my hand in the way for you, but I'll get it.
What you working on here, Dad?
Oh, full with stainless steel trim. I've hammered and dollied and pinned and worked a lot of the little tiny dents out, and they make little tiny raised areas and lowered areas, and then I'll go through and metal rasp it. I'll go through a series of tools, and there's all the black dots and lines and marks underneath of all the areas that were all damaged, and I've smoothed all those out, and I'm slowly working my way down this end, and right now I'm in this section and I'm working my way to the end. If you come on over here to the other table, you'll see the piece that I was working on the other day. Now this has been all sanded and it has not been polished yet. It's sanded all down and cleaned, and I'm going to be going over working on a few little tiny waves left in it that the glossing of it by sanding it, wet sanding it, cleaning it, shows me other little mild imperfections in it, and I'll finish taking them out. I've already worked out quite a few of the dents out of the straight piece. I'll be filing and sanding on those next.
Alright, sounds good.
Alright, this is the second piece we've been doing. I've done a lot of the hammer and dollying and filing on it. It's in a lot of the stage of filing on it. I'm going out and finding the little tiny waves that are left in it. I've removed all the sharp dents, a lot of the big imperfections. Now you start filing, sanding, and hunting down the little waves. And if you see in here, you'll see the magic marker marks where I've marked it before, where it had some sharp problems with it, and all through in different areas. But I still have a subtle little wave right in this area when we block it, so I marked it, and we're gonna work it a little bit more. Give you an idea. Alright, here I am on a piece of stainless. I just wanted to stop and give you a little bit of opinion. I know some people have been videoing what I'm doing. It's just a dirty process of doing it. I don't pick up the camera the whole time. Look, I've removed a lot of the dents down through this piece and cleaned it up really nice. And as you see, I mean, I'll tape it to the table, on the wooden table, and work with it. But if you're going to go down here, I'm going to get in the right pitch. See that little sharp little dent? I'm going to remove it next. There's a little tiny one right there. You just got to get the right light to see them. Let's move on down here. I think there's one or two more. Right there's another one. So you kind of see what I'm doing. I'm going to go and pick and dolly that little tiny dent out. I run sandpaper over the whole thing. It cleans it up. It lets you see what you're doing. Did you have to have patience? It's a tedious process to go through. Here, let's walk over here. I'll show you some other ones I'm getting ready to do. I think Rachel showed you that one, but I'll start out at the worst pieces. This was one of the worst pieces. It was just really bent up a lot, and you can just see how messed it was. Here, let me turn this thing off. But you'll go down this piece. Let's just sit here and I'll bring it to me. If you see it, this is the center piece for the hood. And if you slide down it, you'll see the dents. They're all through it. It's been years and years of punishment and abuse. And these cars became pretty hard to find and different parts for, so you have to spend the time to recondition each piece and remove all the dents and polish and sand and clean this piece till it's absolutely perfect again. So this is the worst piece, the second worst piece there is for the straight sides. I'll be doing that next. And like I said, I started out with that one, and then the other side had a lot of dents in it. I've removed all that, and this will be the other piece. And then these two pieces are pretty easy. These are the doors. As you see, the doors, they have dents in that one area right there. And you'll see dents at it throughout the piece in different places. And it's just pretty dull and worn out. And it's has its, as they call it, patina. But there's little dents all through it. And you'll have to work these things out, each little dent. And you'll see dents in the ends, right there even. That's right where you put your door. When you open the door, that's on the side. So you'll see these pieces, and I'll clean them up. They'll all look like that. And that's just sanded. I have not buffed that yet. Sorry, I'm shaking with the camera, holding it with one hand, but as you get old, man, your hands cramp up from holding this little tiny part. So, like I said, I tape them to the table in different pieces, but that's enough of that. I'll show you different pieces as we get done, and anybody have any questions? Some people ask me to lay out some different tools. I'll go over all of it. There's a lot of tools that you would use. It's having ingenuity doing this, because different cars have different shapes, and you'll make tools that are shaped to the piece you're making. You'll spend the time to make a new dolly just for doing different pieces. So here you can see this is the spot where the dents were in the stainless. I just want to walk back and forth trying to show it to you. Show you where things were marked maybe underneath. Slowly move that over. You see where things were marked, and I had to work out different dents right in through there. You just gotta go through and pin them and dolly them back and forth. And that's where I'm going to be doing other pieces up here on the end. And you got to just go through. You see all the little pin marks right in there where my thumb is. You just got to go through and work out the dents. It turns out real nice, and then it's pretty up close. And you just got to do a little hammer and dolly and sanding and work with it and blend it back in real nice. And then you'll see it after I go to polishing. But I just want to walk through some of these dents. It's a very timely consuming process. It takes a little bit of tedious work. turned out real nice. Here, we did a few things. I didn't have anybody to hold the camera, but checking back and forth to give you an idea of what we go through, making sure the pieces are identical from one side to the other as close as we possibly can get them repaired and back to normal. Working every dent out and sanding everything out. You'll go through gauging from one side to the other. So that's one part, and the other side, and that's another side in 3 different places, all on the same piece down here on the ends. I mean, we've done a lot of measuring through the whole piece all the way through. Nobody's around really to see what we're doing. It's trying to hold everything and do everything at once, but that's one side, and the other side's right next to it, and they're measured out, and everything's coming out really nice. Just give me an idea. Cleaning and sanding, a lot of the process that y'all don't see.
And here we have Mark still filing away on the stainless.
Damn stainless.
This is the passenger side piece.
Yeah.
No, this is the driver's side piece.
Yep, that's the driver's side piece. I've got 99% of the dents worked out. Working my way down to the end. All this area is really nice. I fastened all the curve down to the table and got that really nice. And I'm working my way through it. All the top half, I got a section right here I just put the finish up on, and working my way down it. Well, there's the quarter panel trim. Lots of hammering and dialing and dent removal. I mean, there you can look down her, and she really looks sweet. It's been a hard little piece to do, really. If you look down in the curve and the angle it has, and then how narrow and small it is, how easy it is to twist or turn, and easy it is to bend and lay out. So going to do this piece is a little tricky, but it turned out very, very nice. A lot of little pieces, big pieces are easy. This little thing, it doesn't take much to twist it. So turned out real nice. Lots more little things to do.